everybody, today I'm going to talk about the Mandela effect. Now, I've been here because Casino's ringing the bell, so I've seen this internet conspiracy theory go on for a while, and I kind of wanted to talk about it today because I have some thoughts on it, and also some examples I kind of wanted to talk about. So yeah, let's get started. For people who don't know what the Mandela effect is, it's basically you have a memory that you really remember, and it's either in reality has never happened or never existed, or it's very different. And people say it's like the parallel universes, where like there are some people who cross from a parallel universe and remember things differently. So I don't know if I really believe that much. I do believe in the Mandela effect a little bit. It is a little bit weird, but there are a little bit of crazies out there that will go all the way with it. But I kind of just wanted to do it for fun. So the first one I kind of want to talk about is the Berenstain Bears. So I remember when I read these books when I was younger, like back in elementary school, and like I really liked these books. Like they were kind of easy to read, they were just pretty chill. But I remember it being spelled with an E. And like the reason why I remember it being spelled with an E is because I remember asking my teacher when I first got a hold of one of the books, I was like, what is it pronounced, like Steen or Stein? And like she said it's pronounced Steen. That's what I remember. But apparently that never happened, because the actual spelling is Berenstain with an A. Some Mandela effects don't get me, like the Pikachu's tail one from Pokemon doesn't get me, like Curious George with a tail, because I watched Curious George. But like the Berenstain Bears, it always freaking trips me out, because like I just feel like it just doesn't look right, and like I've read those books all through my elementary school days, so I don't know, it's just like that one is kind of weird that apparently it just never happened that I asked her about that. I don't know, it's just a little weird. Number 2 is Chick-fil-A. So this is the spelling of me remembering it being C-H-I-C. There wasn't a K. But there are some people who do remember it being C-H-I-K, which I'm not one of them. But like the actual spelling is Chick-fil-A, like an actual word of the word chick. And like I don't get affected this one as much. I mean, it still kind of creeps me out a little bit, because I remember when I was very young, probably the late 2000s, like I remember seeing billboards and commercials for Chick-fil-A. I actually asked my mom, why is that spelled wrong? I remember like mentioning it to her multiple times, and apparently it's not spelled wrong, or at least the first word isn't. So like, yeah, I just like, even though that is a little weird, it doesn't really bother me as much as the Berenstain Bears one, because Chick-fil-A I don't really eat that much. So number 3 is life is like a box of chocolates, the quote from Forrest Gump. So I didn't really watch Forrest Gump at all, but I have heard of the quote and I have seen a couple of the clips. But apparently the quote is not life is like a box of chocolates, it's life was like a box of chocolates.
My mom always said that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
It kind of makes me mad a little bit, because like why would you format it that way? But what's kind of weird is that I have a VHS tape of the movie. I got this like I think almost a year ago, and actually if you see it in here, it says life is like a box of chocolates way in there. I don't know if you can see it. So, I don't know. It's a little weird. Like, the life is like a box of chocolates is on this VHS tape. But the movie quotes ones mostly don't get me, because, like, people can easily misspread, like, the actual wording. And, like, it goes through so many different ears and word of mouth that could be different. But yeah, it is a little weird that they still kind of format it as life was like a box of chocolates. So, number 4 is Whiteout. So, I actually saw this one recently when I did my job interview like a week ago or so. Like, there was a bottle of Whiteout on the manager's counter. And when I saw it, I was like, there's no way it was like that. And for people who don't know, the spelling is actually Whiteout with no H. And I'm just like, that's really weird. Like, because I remember using it in school, and like, it was very useful, because like, sometimes even with my notebook that I have when I write stuff down, like, I just kind of cross it if there's something that I didn't want to write, or if I did write it, I wanted to erase it. Like, whiteout is useful in that way. But, like, it's just so weird that they spell it like that, because I remember being white dash out. And like, people do remember being white out with no dash with an H, but it's just kind of so many various kind of spellings that people remember. But I'm the person who remembers white out with the dash with H. So yeah, that's a little weird. Number 5 is pixie sticks. So I remember I would get these a little bit decent amount of time in Halloween, like trick-or-treating every year. And I looked this up one recently, and the spelling just looks terrible. I am the camp where I thought it was pixie sticks, like Pixie sticks, like the normal word of sticks. But like it just, the spelling just is weird. Like this one kind of gets me a little bit. I don't know. Like pixie sticks are not my favorite now because they're just basically sugar. That's all it is. So like it is a little different now because like I don't really eat candy that much anymore. So yeah, it's a little weird. Number 6 is a vehicle mirror. So what I mean by this is that you guys know like when there's a vehicle mirror and you look to the right mirror, or there might be in the left mirror too. I remember the words on the mirror being objects may be closer than they appear. Maybe closer. But the reality is objects are closer than they appear. So like it's kind of different wording. But like I don't know, it's just like I do remember having the word may in it. So I don't know, like especially with me driving for a few years, like as long as I have, like I just can't believe I never noticed that. So number 7 is Stouffer's Stovetop. So this is the food where like I think it's kind of like stuffing, and like I remember seeing it during like Thanksgiving around every year. Like, I mean, I'm not a big Thanksgiving food guy, but like I do remember seeing it all the time around Thanksgiving. But apparently it's not Stouffer's, it's Kraft. I just didn't think Kraft was there at all on that box. It's kind of weird because like I do remember it being Stouffer's. Like Stouffer's Stovetop just sounds better and it sounds more real. I remember distinctly being Stouffer's Stovetop. Like every year my parents would get it. I don't know, that's a little weird. Number 8 is Bambi's mom. So this is the one that I don't see talked about that much. For people who haven't seen Bambi, which I have, Bambi's mom gets killed around like halfway through the film. And actually that's a Mandela effect of its own, where like people thought that she got killed at the beginning of the movie. That one didn't get me. But like Bambi's mom gets shot, but it never shows the body. And like I remember Bambi finding the corpse and laying next to it. That's what I remember, and that never happened, which is very weird because like I'm a huge Disney fan. Like I love all of those like old school kind of Disney movies, like the hand-drawn ones, and like the fact that that scene never happened, I don't know. It's just like I don't see that one mentioned that much. I mean, there is like artwork of like people who have drawn it, like what it would look like, but people say that they do kind of confuse it with Mufasa's body when he gets killed in The Lion King, but I do remember being two different versions. Like I remember Bambi's mom body being visible, so I don't know. Number 9 is Luke, I am your father. So this is one of the most misquoted lines of all time in movie history, or even in the Mandela effect. This is the one that gets me with the movie quotes.
He told me you killed him. I am your father. He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
Because, like, I mean, I know that people say that, like, it doesn't really make sense with Luke, I'm your father in the scene because we already know who he's talking to. But, like, it just seems kind of better than no, I am your father. I don't know, it feels very weird. That one kind of hits me a little bit because, like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I actually own the original on VHS. I just really am a big Star Wars fan, so. Number 10 is the Fruit of the Loom logo. So, this one is my all-time biggest Mandela effect, by far. This is the Mandela effect where the Fruit of the Loom logo had a cornucopia, because it did. Now, in my current timeline, or our current timeline, it never had a cornucopia, which is freaking impossible because, like, I remember when I would get Fruit of the Loom clothing, or, like, underwear or whatever, like, at different stores, and I always was kind of confused by the cornucopia, and I was like, what is that thing? And I remember asking my mom about it, and she said it's a cornucopia, and I was like, what the heck is that word? I do remember first hearing it with the Fruit of the Loom logo. I honestly think this is the one that annoys me the most. Like, because I swear it did. Actually, I don't think I have recently checked any of the clothes to see if it's there. It's not going to be, but, like, I've seen sometimes people post on, like, Reddit with, like, Mandela effect residue, where, like, a different timeline crossed over with, like, all the shirts and stuff. You gotta be careful on that because some of them are photoshopped. But it's weird because people have found, like, old articles of it having a cornucopia, but the guy who played a bunch of grapes from that commercial, the fact that Fruit of the Loom is so insistent on saying there never was one, it just, I don't know, this one just annoys me so much. It's the one that scares me the most out of all of these. I think it's like the Berenstein Bears one gets me, and then the Fruit of the Loom one. It just like, I don't know, it just like, that one, I will die on this hill that it had a cornucopia. Like, I don't know if there's like a government conspiracy or something like that, but I don't know, it's just a little weird. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know that I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of wanted to talk about this today. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.